What the hell just happened? Nothing like well, welcome everybody. Welcome into the channel. Today we talk about why Big Ben is still old. This is a very casual video, holding my mic in my hand. I'm almost a reporter in this one. Today is a little bit of comedy. Today we saw the Pittsburgh Steelers fall to the Cincinnati Bengals by 31 points, and it was almost more than that. Obviously, that late garbage time touchdown to Pat Freiermuth, who looks like the only bright spot of the Steelers team, and Mike Tomlin, of course. But the Steelers now in risk, or in obviously at risk of falling to under 500, which Mike Tomlin I don't think ever has as a coach, if I'm not wrong. But I mean, it was just it's almost funny. I'm not a Steelers fan, so I find this funny. I find this very comedic. I think, as a Bengals fan, this probably must be one of the most satisfying things. And imagine if this happened last year. Imagine this happened after Juju Smith-Schuster, did all that, all the dancing and Chase Claypool. Like, that must feel amazing. Obviously, Juju Smith-Schuster has been very bad this year. But, I mean, it was just a game that you look at it and, I'm touching on all the wrong things. It's Big Ben. He's the problem. You guys know, if you've been part of the channel, you know how much I think this guy should not be the quarterback. I think it's 2 years too late. I think last year was too much, although, to be fair, I'll give it to them. They went undefeated for majority of the season. Then they fell apart because Big Ben has no longevity in this league anymore. And then we saw that today. We saw Big Ben, unfortunately, just fall, and I'm not sure how many interceptions he had. I know he had at least two. One was housed for a touchdown. Two interceptions. And to be fair, 263 yards and a touchdown, but you look at that completion percentage, 24 for 41, almost 50%, and then just, Najee couldn't get going. Giving the ball to Najee Harris 8 times in a game probably isn't the best idea. I think he may have gotten injured. I might be completely wrong. Again, I watch Red Zone, so I'm not sure. I missed some things. I'm not sure if he did get injured, but that does not seem right because you're not giving the ball to Najee Harris. I'm going to check. I don't think he did. That would make sense. Yeah, no, he didn't. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The Pittsburgh Steelers can't play call either. Giving the ball to Najee Harris 8 times is very, very stupid. He needs double-digit touches every game. He needs Derrick Henry type production or type volume. He has that ability. I'm not going to say anyone has the ability to be like Derrick Henry. He has the ability to get up to that level. And then, again, looking at the game, Big Ben is a brittle quarterback who doesn't have the arm anymore and just doesn't have the longevity in this league. Again, no matter what the weapons you had, I think last year he got away with it because he still had maybe, I don't even think, a sliver left. But this year there's just nothing. And I think, if you're the Steelers right now, it's probably, you don't really want to be winning more games. I mean, you don't have the future quarterback on that roster, so it's not like, you have someone to fall back on next season. You're probably fighting for a quarterback. On the Steelers, quarterback is probably the number one priority in this draft, or going and getting someone in free agency. And that's why I think they stayed with Big Ben too long, because they're at the point now where in this draft they don't have a pick that's probably good enough to get. I mean, they could get Kenny Pickett, I guess, but they don't. There's no quarterback right now who will most likely change this team in a year. And there's no free agent guys. I guess Aaron Rodgers, but you're not paying Aaron Rodgers that much money. And Deshaun Watson's still there. They're kind of screwed. Because next year it's probably going to be. I don't really think they're going to go and get one of those guys. And it's, again, I don't like touching out, and it's just the game was terrible. The defense, which is supposed to be the best part of the Steelers team, was just atrocious, letting up 41 points. To be fair, a lot of it had to do with Big Ben when your quarterback's consistently turning over the ball. But they scored 3 touchdowns in the second quarter. They were up 31. To 3 going into the half. Luckily, the defense had some semblance in the second half, only letting up 10 points, but it was just terrible. I mean, you look at the Bengals stats. Joe Burrow, fantastic game, 20 for 20. Not fantastic. Actually, not a great game. They ended up even putting in Brandon Allen, but it was 20 for 24 with 190, a pick and a touchdown. Then Mixon ran all over you. I mean, look at this stats. If the Bengals are giving Joe Mixon 28 carries, he's putting up 165 yards and 2 touchdowns on you. I mean, this is supposed to be a good run defense, and I think that's the Steelers. That's where they've fallen this year. Is that defense? If that defense was the defense they were last year, one of the best in the league, they would not be 5-1. And again, that Lions game was a big indicator of where the Steelers team is right now, and it's just they're not there. And it's unfortunate. Again, you kind of look at receiving wise. I mean, the corners were nowhere. T. Higgins, that throw by Joe Burrow to T. Higgins, the corner was completely, I think it was Pirine. Terrible coverage back to the, didn't even, it was facing to the end of the end zone, not towards the ball, and let T. Higgins, just go up and get it. And you let T. Higgins put up 114 yards. I believe that's the most he's ever put in a game. He had an average of 19 yards per catch and 100 touchdowns and a touchdown. I guess Jamar Chase, that's the only thing you bring away. He had 3 for 39, but it's just disappointing. I think that was the big fault. We knew that this was going to be a big run game from Joe Mixon off that first play, that 25-yard gain that was down the sideline. And again, I will continually come back to this. It is Big Ben. You need to let him go. Watching this guy play, it's just, and I hate to use this term, and I don't mean to disrespect, and I know that he's a professional athlete. He's one of the best quarterbacks. He is a potato of a player. He cannot move. He is a little bit overweight. His throwing is just not great. And again, I do not mean this at all. Steelers fans, I don't mean this to offend you. I'm simply seeing what I see from a quarterback, and there's no way that Steelers fan can see something else. I don't know, maybe you guys are a biased fan base, but if you look at this guy play, it's painful. And I guess sometimes he has on games. Sometimes, sometimes he has games where he plays all right, but again, the turnover problem was awful. His throws were terrible. Looking at someone fading to the sideline, he throws back shoulder to the strong side of the corner and he picks it. And then again, it's those jump passes where it's the outside post and he throws it shallow instead of throwing it to the sideline. He gets picked off for the touchdown. It was just terrible. And then again, this Steelers team over and over and over and over again has not shown any kind of any style of or any way of keeping their heads cool. Chase Claypool throws the corner, takes his helmet off when he's off his release. Terrible penalty. You're never going to get away with that. It's just stupid. And again, Mike Tomlin, I know, will not stand for that. He's a coach who gets to it. He's a coach who wins games, and he's a coach who's just a really good coach. And losing your heads like that just shows so much about the character of the Steelers team, which is just poor. And I think it's one of those things where the Steelers have kind of been let off and they've kind of not been talked about too much because they've been all right. 5 wins, and they had a little bit of some upset wins. But this game is a big indicator. I think the Steelers could lose out. I think Big Ben needs to be taken off this QB1 role now. I think Dwayne Haskins or Kyle Rudolph or somebody needs to be put in who can move. Big Ben has no pocket presence. And it sucks because this guy was a really good quarterback. Big Ben will probably go down as one of the greater, not with the greats, but one of the I would say he's a Hall of Fame quarterback easily. And then again, it comes back to giving Najee Harris the ball 8 times, which is ridiculous. He's your rookie running back. He's shown that he can get those Derrick Henry-like rushes where he gets those 4-yard runs, those really effective runs, which would have been so useful against a Bengals team that you really was not letting up a lot of big plays. But it's about, chronologically driving down the field, which they just were not doing. And then again, the Bengals capitalized, and I think that's a big reason why this Bengals team will probably be ahead of the Steelers for the at least the next couple of years. This offense has really built a name for itself and defense. And I think last year we saw a little bit of that, but especially this defense this year. That secondary has gotten a lot better. They have a lot of, not star, but they have a lot of pieces, and then Jesse Bates kind of rounds it out. And then the linebacking core and defensive line was able to get to Big Ben. And then again, the offensive line for the Steelers is poor. So it was just not a very good game for the Steelers. And again, reaction wise, it's very indicatory of, I don't even know if it's a word, but it's this Steelers team shows a lot, and it shows what they need to build on, and there's a lot for them to work on. I think, unfortunately going in to the next game, it needs to be, Big Ben probably should not be starting, but yeah, again, he probably will. But hope you guys enjoy the rant. I like this kind of video. Kind of just sat down and talked. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. What do you think about the Steelers-Bengals game? And yeah, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Cian McDermott, the Esports Scoop. See you in the next one. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow us on social media. See you next time.